Chad's coming. Yeah.
Welcome to the Town of Abingdon, Virginia Planning Commission regular meeting. We appreciate your interest and encourage public participation in our meeting. Comments are important to our decision-making process. Please note that there will be two opportunities to address the commission. The first will come when the chair asks for public comment for items not on the agenda. The second will come at the time the chairman opens a public hearing. Anyone wishing to address the Planning Commission should come forward, approach the podium, give your first and last name and your complete physical address. Comments must be limited to 3 minutes. Roll call.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Johnson?
Present.
Mr. Thompson? Mr. Pennington? Mr. Sproles?
Present.
Mr. Wilson?
Present.
And Mr. Schuman.
Present. Next order of business is approval of the minutes. The first is the September 22nd, 2025 regular meeting, which we tabled.
Since we need Mr. Pennington here, we'll just table that one till further down in the agenda, or further on in the meeting, till Chad's here, and then we'll come back and revisit
let's
that
just
one.
do that. And the second is October 27, 2025 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, is there a motion that they be approved as submitted?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson? Mr. Pennington? Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Abstain. I was absent from that meeting.
And Mr. Schuman.
Next order of business is public comment for items not on the agenda. I don't see anybody signed up. Is there anybody that wishes to address the commission for items not on the agenda? All right. If not, we'll move forward. The next order of business is certificate of appropriateness number 1, the Hilb Group applicant, the Clifton Partnership owner, Jerry Signs representative, certificate of appropriateness for non-illuminated wall signage located at 263 West Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses, parcel 011-1-85A, in parentheses. Staff report.
The Hill Group applicant, the Clifton Partnership owner, and Jerry Sign representative have requested approval of a certificate of appropriateness for the installation of a 5-foot 11 3/4 inch by 4-foot 7/8 inch, total 24.35 square feet, non-illuminated, single-sided, painted white, green, and blue wooden wall sign attached to the central portion of the brick veneer building's west elevation, located at 263 West Main Street, tax map number 011-1-85A. The property is within the B3 and entrance corridor. The subject property contains approximately 0.22 acres and is legally described as Cummings Lot W, main acre, 0.22. Generally, the subject property is located at 263 West Main Street. The existing building was constructed circa 1955, according to the Washington County Land Card. The building is occupied by Abingdon Interiors, the Hill Group, and Edward Jones. Access to the site will continue to be West Main Street. Adjoining properties to the north are zoned Old and Historic Subdistrict 2. Adjoining properties to the east, south, and west are zoned Central Business District B3. The applicant proposes to install a 5-foot 11 3/4 inch by 4-foot 7 1/8 inch non-illuminated, single-sided, painted white, green, and blue wooden wall sign attached to the central portion of the brick veneers building's west elevation as shown and illustrated in the photos below. The Hill Group, prior to September 2025, occupied the front portion of the brick veneer building, but has since occupied the central portion with Abingdon Interiors occupying the front portion. The primary entrance for the Hill Group consists of an unpainted steel and glass door directly accessed by the striped asphalt parking lot located immediately to the west of the brick veneer building. The Hill Group has an existing non-illuminated, double-sided, painted white, green, and blue wooden freestanding sign near the entrance into the striped asphalt parking lot. The proposed 5-foot 11 3/4 inch by 4-foot 7 8-inch non-illuminated, single-sided, painted white, green, and blue wooden wall sign prior to September 2025 was attached to the south elevation near the primary entrance of the front portion of the brick veneer building, now occupied by a black-framed aluminum with applied white vinyl graphics wall sign for Abingdon Interiors. Businesses in the B3 are allowed one freestanding sign and one wall sign per street frontage. The Washington County loan card shows the west elevation has a total of 142 linear feet of building face. Approximately 47 linear feet are provided for each of the 3 businesses. Each business would be allowed 47 square feet of wall signage. The proposed 24.35 square feet wall sign meets the requirements of the sign ordinance. Any questions for me?
So basically, the sign that's sitting there on the ground would then be just attached to the building, is that correct?
Correct.
Yep.
I believe their applicant is present if you have questions for them.
Okay. Does the applicant want to make any kind of a presentation? You're welcome to do that if you would like.
Daniel York with Jerry's Signs at 15775 Porterfield Highway. I apologize, I have forgotten your name. As Amber has said, we are literally just going to move it down one space and reattach it to the wall. There's nothing fancy about it.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you. What is the pleasure of the commission?
I'll make a motion. We approve as presented.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second. I think it look a lot better on the wall than it would sitting on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson. Nope. Mr. Pennington.
Aye.
Mr. Sproles.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman.
Aye. Now that Mr. Pennington's here, let's go back and look at that, the minutes from the September 22nd, 2025 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a motion that they be approved as submitted?
And just for reminders, since I know it's been a little bit, so Mr. Austin, Mr. Pennington, Mr. Wilson, and Mr. Schuman were present at that meeting, so.
Okay.
one
I
of you-
move we approve those minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Go ahead and call the roll.
Mr. Austin,
Aye.
Mr. Pennington,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
and Mr. Schuman.
Okay, next order of business, certificate of appropriateness. Lacey Taylor, applicant, Virginia Refuel Enterprises owner, certificate of appropriateness to install digital changeable signage and reface existing internally illuminated freestanding signage located at 543 West Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses, parcel 018-17-1, in parentheses, staff report.
Lacey Taylor, applicant, and Virginia Refuel Enterprises, Inc., owner, have requested approval of a COA for the following items. Removal of an existing red digital changeable sign from the existing painted white steel freestanding sign bottom cabinet and all existing painted marathon blue and marathon red and white acrylic with applied vinyl graphics panels within the existing 3 painted white steel freestanding sign structure. Install 2 4-foot 6 5/16 inches by 3 feet 8 inches, total of 16.90 square foot, Marathon Endurance logo, flat embossed face, painted marathon blue, marathon red, marathon light blue, and white acrylic panels within the existing painted white steel top cabinet. Install a 9-inch CCD red toggle display surrounded by painted marathon blue acrylic panels within the existing 4-foot 6 5/16 inches by 1 foot 9/16 inches painted white steel middle cabinet. Install a 18-inch red stacked Lumidigit 4 with painted Marathon blue acrylic panels within the existing 4-foot 6 5/16 inches by 4-foot 8 inches painted white steel bottom cabinet, located at 543 West Main Street in the B2 district. The subject property contains approximately .360 acres and is legally described as Palmer Land Pattern Acre .36, generally located at 543 West Main Street. The existing building was constructed circa 1945 according to the Washington County Land Card and is occupied by a Marathon gas station. Access to the site will continue to be West Main Street and Patton Street. Adjoining properties are zoned B2 on all sides. The applicant proposes the following EC/COA eligible items: removal of the existing red digital changeable sign from the existing painted white steel freestanding sign bottom cabinet and all existing painted Marathon blue, Marathon red, and white acrylic with applied vinyl graphics panel within the existing 3 painted white steel freestanding sign cabinets. Install 2 4-foot 6 5/16 inches by 3 feet 8 inches Marathon Endurance logo flat embossed face painted Marathon blue, Marathon red, Marathon light blue, and white acrylic panels within the existing painted white steel top cabinet. Install a 9-inch CCD red toggle display with painted Marathon blue acrylic panels within the existing 4-foot 6 5/16 inches by 1 foot 9 1/16 inches painted white steel middle cabinet. Install a 18-inch red stack Lumidigit 4 with painted Marathon blue acrylic panels within the existing 4-foot 6 5/16 inches by 4-foot 8 inches painted white steel bottom. Tax map is zone general business. The businesses are B2. Businesses located in the B2 are allowed 1 freestanding sign per street frontage with a maximum allowed area of 60 square feet. The proposed 43.24 square feet freestanding sign meets the requirements of the sign ordinance. Any questions for me?
Any questions? Does the applicant want to make a presentation? You don't have to.
Do you guys have any questions?
You would give your name and address, please.
Virginia Refuels Industries, and address is like 543 543 West Main Street,
Okay.
24210.
Any questions? Do you want to make a presentation or just answer questions? Or
No.
any questions for the applicant? If not, what is the pleasure of the commission?
I move we approve the COA as submitted.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Aye. All right. Next order of business, certificate of appropriateness, Southern Appalachian Dance Center applicant, TYL Properties LLC owner, certificate of appropriateness for allowance of unapproved non-illuminated window signage located at 301 West Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses, parcel 011-1-80, in parentheses, staff report.
Yes, Southern Appalachian Dance Center and TYL Properties owner have requested approval of a COA for allowance of unapproved window signs on the glass panes of the south elevation first floor commercial display windows located at 301 Main Street. The subject property contains approximately .170 acres and is legally described as West Main Street Citizens Bank Building Acre .1. Generally, the subject property is located at 301 West Main Street. The existing building was constructed circa 1934, according to the Washington County Land Card. The building is occupied by Southern Appalachian Dance Center and The Volt. Access to the site will continue to be West Main Street or Plum Alley. Adjoining properties to the north are zoned Old and Historic Subdistrict 2. Adjoining properties to the east, south, and west are zoned Business District 3. General Business District B2. The applicant requests allowance of the unapproved window signs on the glass panes of the south elevation first floor commercial display windows, as seen in the rendering. Tax map number 011-1-80 is zone B3. Businesses in the B3 are allowed window signage, which is 10% of the total area of all windows on each building facade. The existing doors and windows of the south elevation first floor total 106.70 square feet. The businesses would be allowed 10.67 square feet of window signage. The definition of window signs includes the glass portions as well of doors as well as windows, so all of that is factored in. The portion of the murals directly related to the business used as a dance studio are the two ballerinas. The left ballerina is 2 foot and 4 inches by 3 feet 7 inches for a total of 8.36 square feet. And the right ballerina is 2 foot 8 inches by 3 feet 11 inches for a total of 10.44 square feet. The total window signage directly related to the business use as a dance studio is 18.80 square feet. Everything else on the mural is seasonal and is not representative of the business. That's why we're looking at just the window signage of the ballerinas. Those window signage requirements are not met. The remainder of the mural, seasonal, temporary, and has no relationship to the use as a dance studio. Any questions for me?
Do we have any type of seasonal exception for persons that want to do this type of window signage?
To my knowledge, and Gabe can correct me if I'm wrong, there is not anything in the ordinance that allows just seasonal. We just allow it.
So we've always allowed seasonal, and again, I'll just reiterate what Amber said in the staff report. We're not looking at the Nutcracker, the candy canes, or anything with that. We're just looking at the ballerinas because they are representative of it being a dance studio for that. But all the other things we're not looking at in terms of signage because it's all seasonal. Like you see when we have people do scenes of like Frosty Snowman or anything like that's related to Christmas or Halloween or anything like that. We're not seeing that as signage as long as it doesn't have anything related to that business.
So are they going to remove the ballerinas at the end of the season?
That would,
Everything would be removed.
yeah, it'll be removed at the end of the season.
I see.
So this is where you could, if everybody's in agreement, you could say, we review this as temporary signage to where it's related to the scene and everything. We are, on this specific case, we're allowing it, but in general, you wouldn't allow it. This is a
And
special case.
should we put a time limit, in other words?
So you could say,
First week in January or whatever?
yeah, and that's if the applicant's here to speak to, whether it's related to something like that or the time frame that you want to set that they're agreeable to. You guys could work it out like that.
30 days, for example, would that?
30 days
Yeah.
or 35 or whatever you guys feel is
35
right for
days.
that. And the applicant's here if they would like to speak to any of this, but yeah. So if everybody's in agreement, you guys can make that kind of exception to be like, we view this as temporary signage, it's really for seasonal, and even though it's a ballerina's related to it, so.
Let me ask you another question. The way the ordinance is written, it's 10% of the total area of all windows on each building facade. So technically, you're talking the whole south facade.
So we only view it as the bottom, because that's where the building is. Up top is office space. It's a separate business, so that's why.
But I mean, in theory, could that square footage not be incorporated into the calculation, or?
We have not done it like that before because it's been to what spaces within that, what windows or doors or whatever relate to that business. So a business on the first floor can't have a window sign on the second floor if they're not even on the second floor. So that's why we haven't done it that way. So that's why we went with the bottom windows and doors on here because they're directly
Correct, they're related to the business, but,
Yeah.
never mind.
I was just going to say, it looks really good in person when you're sitting at that traffic light looking at it. It's, I noticed the other day, I was like, oh, that looks nice. So, from that standpoint, I'm all for it.
Okay. You would,
Sure. Hi, I'm Olivia Ratliff. I'm the owner and artistic director of this building, or not the building, but the dance company.
and we need your address as well.
301 West Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia.
Thank you.
Thank you. So yes, this is definitely temporary. We would love to have more design on the windows as we progress, but this is definitely temporary. Our Nutcracker performance is what this is mostly promoting, and that will wrap on December 7th. So it will definitely be out by December 10th at the latest, or we can keep it through the Christmas season, but it's definitely not going to be there all the time. But we would love to have continued window art there. Spot of Color is fantastic. They do lots of work downtown, so that's our main purpose for having this window art, is for the Nutcracker that will, again, be wrapped by December 7th.
Any questions for the applicant?
You just got to promise us you're not going to take it down on December 10th. I think it looks so nice.
Well, in that case, that sounds great.
I do, I like it.
Thank
Through
you. I
Christmas
think it looks
anyway.
awesome.
I agree.
Perfect. Thank you all so much.
What's the pleasure of the commission?
I'll make a motion to approve it, as long as it's down like mid-January,
So second week of January,
January 15th.
January 15th? Okay.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
All right, any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Aye. Next order of business, certificate of appropriateness, Genesis Back and Neck, Abingdon, applicant C&M Brown Properties LLC owner, certificate of appropriateness for allowance of unapproved internally illuminated freestanding signage located at 432 East Main Street, Suite B, Abingdon, Virginia 24210, parcel 018-17-1 in parentheses. Staff report.
Genesis Back and Neck, Abingdon, the applicant, has requested approval of certificate of appropriateness for allowance of two unapproved 5 foot 10 inch by 1 foot 3 inch, which is 7.29 square feet, internally illuminated single-sided aluminum sign panels set within the existing freestanding sign structure located near the entrance into the striped asphalt parking lot, located at 432 East Main Street. The subject property contains approximately .330 acres and is legally described as East Main Street acreage .331 dwelling in facto. Tax map number 014-1-15. The subject property is located at 432 East Main Street. The existing building was constructed circa 1934 according to the Washington County Land Card. The property contains a multi-use building known as Cumbo Square holding multiple businesses. The existing freestanding sign structure was approved at the Planning Commission on February 24, 2025. Access to the site will continue to be East Main Street. Adjoining properties are zoned business, general business district, B2 on all sides. The applicant requests allowance of two unapproved 5 foot 10 inch by 1 foot 3 inch 7.29 square feet internally illuminated single-sided aluminum sign panels set within the existing freestanding sign structure located near the entrance into the striped asphalt parking lot. You can see the images there, both of the southwest and northwest elevation, and that is what is existing. The tax map number 014-1-15 is Zone B2. Businesses located in the B2 are allowed one freestanding sign per street frontage with a maximum area allowed of 60 square feet. The proposed 7.29 square feet freestanding sign meets the requirements of the sign ordinance. And the
Questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Does the applicant, is the applicant here, do you,
That would be me again, Daniel Rourke, 15775 Porterfield Highway, representing Jerry's Signs. Originally, when this sign was proposed, Miracle Ear was going to be in Genesis' spot, they didn't have a logo or any drawings or anything at that time. Then once Chris finally got his stuff together, we ended up putting Genesis there, moving Miracle Ear down. That's why it wasn't on the original proposal, the application.
All right, questions? But it now exists as it's shown, is that correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, it was just coming before you, as Daniel said, you know, it just wasn't in the, when the structure got renovated, so that's why they had to come, because it wasn't technically approved for that one. So,
It's not because the Miracle Ear
no,
rescinded.
no, it's because we didn't even, that wasn't on the plans for it to be in there. So like Chiropractic First, all these other ones were on that.
Right.
This one was a new one, so that's why.
Because this is what we encourage, so we don't have to sit here and approve all
So-
the signs every time.
So this didn't have a comprehensive sign plan with it.
Okay?
They just redid the freestanding sign structure. Now, if they went for a comprehensive sign plan, then it would just go, then, once you guys approve that plan, it just goes before staff to approve that. So that's one of the benefits of having a comprehensive sign plan.
Exactly.
And that's why when we have meetings with other property owners that own buildings like this, we try to say, you know, comprehensive sign plan might be the best, because you go once, and then as long as you fit the space and everything, you just have to turn the sign permit. This property just, they didn't do that at the time. The jury signs just came to what was asked of them to do at that time.
So if we fill the two bottom cabinets, same process.
Yep.
So can we do that now, or can they do that now, comprehensive
So they
sign
would,
plan?
they could apply for a special use permit to get that comprehensive sign plan once, and then they don't have to do this again for the other one after. Or if they want more signage, if they come to you for the walls or whatever would be,
Right.
that's when they would come to you and have that full plan set out. So that might be a way to move forward, so.
As long as the only reason that would have to come back before us would be any deviation in color or anything of that nature. Otherwise, you know, really don't need to see it.
Yeah, and if you guys don't want to see it again, then we can say, you know, we can view it as a minor thing. It's up to you guys in a sense to make that determination. It's just our job to bring it before you when we don't have direction. We need direction from the planning commission to see which way we want to go, so.
And we did something similar at the Johnson Center a couple meetings ago.
Yeah, when it was white, yeah. So if you say, you know, if the other one is white with whatever color is used for their whatever business goes in there, then we can just say, okay. Staff can just look at that part of it then.
Yeah, I think it's cumbersome for the planning commission, also for the applicant to have to come in as various businesses change, just to slide one signage in and the other one out. If we can avoid that in the future, that's great.
Yeah, and that's why we always try to propose the comprehensive sign plan when we
Yes,
meet
sir.
with people first, so this way you guys just see it once and then they can go on their way with fully developing it, so that's something too, you know, when somebody comes, if you feel free to always say, you know, what you think about doing this instead of just having one sign after the other. That's well within the right of the planning commission to ask an applicant as well, in that case.
So, I mean, do we want to do that now, is your question?
It's really up to you. If you feel that if you want to make a motion in there, then saying, you know, you approve this sign, but you also say with the other two signs, if that's, you know, agreeable to the applicant and you guys to say, as long as the sign, you know, that faces still our white background with whatever color the business uses for their logo and letters, you can do that as well. It's kind of up to planning commission.
I'm in favor of that, and then putting the authority back in staff's hands.
You want to make that in the form of motion?
Approve twofold, I guess. One, first is approve the COA as submitted, coupled with, provided future signage does not deviate in colors, staff have the authority to approve the remaining two areas.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
All right. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
and Mr. Schuman.
Can I ask one thing of you?
Sure,
Could you
yeah.
type that up in an email and send it to me about the sign and everything, just so I can tell Chris about it
Yeah,
since he's the
yeah,
property owner?
that'll be in your, letter that we sent to you, and, if Chris's email's on there. If not, just feel free to
Yeah.
forward that to him, and if you wanna CC me on there. more
I
than happy
will.
to. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Y'all have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Next order of business is Certificate of Appropriateness, C&M Brown Properties LLC owner, Dunford Roofing representative, Certificate of Appropriateness for roof vents in rear left porch roof located at 432 East Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses, parcel 014-1-15, in parentheses, staff report.
Dunford Roofing, Inc. applicant and C&M Brown Properties LLC owner have requested approval of a COA for the following items. Remove the existing asphalt shingle cladding from the rear left porch roof. Clean and dispose of debris from roof gutters, driveways, flower beds, and general ground areas. Remove the loose nails from the ground using magnetic sweepers. Install new metal flashing where needed. Install 1,000 square feet of synthetic underlayment. Install 36-inch course of ice water shield underlayment at eaves. Install 96 feet of aluminum roof edging painted white. Install 13.33 squares of landmark roofing shingles manufactured by CertainTeed LLC. Color of new shingles shall be driftwood. Furnish and install 3 new 12-inch by 12-inch black aluminum slant back roof vents that protrude approximately 4 inches from the roof surface. Located at 432 East Main Street, Suite B, tax map number 014-1-15. Property is within the B2. The subject property contains approximately .33 acres and is legally described as East Main Street acreage .331 dwelling in facto. The existing building was constructed in 1934 according to the Washington County Land Card and contains multiple businesses known as Combo Square. Access to the site will continue to be East Main Street. Adjoining properties are zoned General Business District B2 on all sides. The applicant proposes the following AC COA eligible items. Remove the existing asphalt shingle cladding from the rear left porch roof. Install new metal flashing where needed. Install 1,000 square feet of synthetic underlayment. Install 36-inch course of ice water shield underlayment at eaves. Install 96 feet of aluminum roof edging painted white. Install 13.33 squares of landmark roofing shingles manufactured by CertainTeed LLC. Color of new shingles shall be driftwood. Furnish and install 3 new 12-inch by 12-inch black aluminum slant back roof vents that protrude approximately 4 inches from the roof surface. You see the attached pictures there as well. They provided a sample that was in your staff report and the images of the vents as well as the color. And there should be someone present if you have further questions for them.
Questions for Ms. Howard?
And again, this is something just to clarify, the whole project was in there, but really you're just looking at the vents because the vents are not there at the moment. Now, this is something, if you deem that this is a minor action, that can be approved through a COA waiver with the whole roofing for future projects, that's up to the board to determine. We just felt, based how the ordinance is right now, we didn't see this as a minor action because you're changing the roof kind of shape and everything with adding those vents, the profile of the roof. So totally up to the board to decide if you feel that it's a minor action, then we can move forward with that as well, or if you want to see these sort of things moving forward. But really, you're just looking at the vents that they're adding.
I make a motion, we approve those roof vents and deem that this is minor action going forward and allow staff to make those decisions without it coming before the planning commission.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
All right. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Aye. Next order of business, Certificate of Appropriateness, Maria Martinez, applicant, Apex Holding LLC, owner, Certificate of Appropriateness for allowance of unapproved window signage located at 560 West Main Street, Unit 104, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses 018-1-33, in parentheses. Staff report.
The applicant has requested approval of a COA for the allowance of unapproved EC eligible items. Install one 5-foot by 3 feet, 15 square foot non-illuminated single side vinyl window sign installed on the far right of the right interior windows of the north primary facade. Install one 2-foot 3-inch by 3 feet 2-inch, 7.11 square feet, non-illuminated single side corrugated plastic window sign on the middle of the right interior window of the north primary facade. Install one 4-foot by 2-foot 8 square foot non-illuminated single-sided corrugated plastic at the bottom of the left interior window of the north primary facade. Install one internally illuminated single-sided 1-foot 6-inch by 1-foot 6-inch in the far left interior window of the north primary facade. Subject property contains approximately .580 acres and is legally described as Palmer Land Acreage .58, tax map 018-1-33. Subject property is located at 560 West Main Street, Unit 104. The existing building was constructed circa 1964 according to the Washington County Land Card. The building is occupied by Pure Peace Spa, La Miko Kana, and an apartment. Access to the site will continue to be West Main Street. Adjoining properties to the northeast and west are zoned General Business District B2. Adjoining properties to the south are zoned High Density Residential District. The applicant proposes the following items: to install one 5-foot by 3-foot 15 square foot non-illuminated single-side vinyl window sign installed on the far right of the right interior window of the primary north elevation, image shown. That one is still there. Install one 2-foot 3-inch by 3-foot 2-inch non-illuminated single-side corrugated plastic window sign on the middle of the right interior window of the primary elevation. Install one 4-foot by 2-foot 8 square foot non-illuminated single-side corrugated plastic at the bottom of the left interior window. Install one internally illuminated single-side 22-inch diameter window sign in the far left window of the north primary facade. Businesses in the B2 may utilize 10% of total window door coverage per facade for window signage. The business has overall total window and door coverage of 213.67 square feet. A maximum of 21.367 square feet can be utilized. All signs combined are equal to 32.75 square feet. One or more signs must be removed to meet the requirements. The vinyl banner is 15 square feet, which would allow 6.367 square feet remaining for the other signage. After sending this report to the applicant, she did remove some of those signs already. So it would be the vinyl 15 square foot banner will remain. There are also 4 business hour signs posted on the windows, doors, and 2 open signs, one which is internally illuminated. The Planning Commission can include in their motion that all but one business hour sign is removed. The internally illuminated sign is permitted if it does not flash. Under the awning, there is a yard sign and a Lowe's bucket with a business name listed. This should be removed. The freestanding signage of the previous business location, 604 West Main Street, must also be removed. The existing canopy sign should be removed or replaced with a new business name. And again, some of those signs first mentioned have been removed. So the main sign, the Tienda Mexicana, that one is still there.
So that canopy sign, that doesn't count towards anything right now, it's just the old sign.
Right, it's just old and existing, just noted that it should be removed or replaced.
But I guess the question might be there, would that be the responsibility of the applicant who's renting the space, or would that be the responsibility of the building owner?
Building owner, it should be.
Usually it's either the previous business that's there that just takes their signs when they leave, or sometimes the property owner takes them down.
Well, I guess the reason I'm asking that question is the applicant has a business and the applicant's renting the space for their business. And the awning that's there is
It's really the
not part of
property
their
owner.
business. So in doing what we need to do tonight, it seems to me that one of the things we need to do is to deal with the window signage, which is the responsibility of the applicant. But should we deal with the awning in a different way? Because it does not appear to me that the applicant, who is a renter, has the responsibility to remove the awning sign.
You could also say, you could just give staff, say staff can move forward with contacting who they see, the property owner in this case would be to remove the existing business's signage that was there. Obviously, keep the canopy. We're not asking you to take down the canopy, just to take off
Yeah.
that. If I can go back to this. Well, this sign was the applicant's before. We can tell the property owner to take it down, but usually the existing business takes their signs from their area.
Well, again, you've got the awning that has the Mountain Patriots that needs to be removed as well.
So this is on the neighboring parcel. So the one next door.
The freestanding sign.
Yeah, the freestanding sign that's next door. Yeah. That was their previous location. They essentially moved from one building to the next.
Can the Tienda Mexicana sign just be put on the white wall right next to the window and not count as window signage?
No, it's window signage, but it'd be a freestanding sign.
Is there allowed?
60.
Well, I
I'm sorry,
mean-
did you say
This one you mean?
the awning was not factored in?
The awning as a canopy sign is not included in any of the square footage that I've listed before.
For the window
It's,
signage.
it's only says that it is the previous business owner and should be dealt with. It's just noted.
A canopy sign is different in our ordinance, it's separated from window signage, so that's why it's a separate type of sign.
Okay.
So, they like need the main sign, whether it's in a window or, but then the services of sending money is also probably an important part of an important service they offer, so they would need those signs. I don't know about all the open signs, but.
So when we drove by there recently, so after the staff report was written and sent to you all, we did a follow-up. The RIA sign on the far right was removed, and the green sign on the left was also removed.
Okay.
And then the other signs, I think, and the other window were still there. That one in the back was gone, but the circle one's still there. So they still have access to see there's a money transfer sign. service.
And just to let you know, Mr. Wilson, in total, if the vinyl sign is capped, which is 15 square feet, they would still have 6.367 square feet to work with of extra signage that they could have in the window within that 10%. So they can definitely keep the 15 square foot one and one of the other, or two, depending on which one you pick, or they pick. So.
When you went back by, was the Lowe's sign or the bucket, the yard sign in the Lowe's bucket, was it gone?
I think that was still there when I drove by, but that was on Friday of last week. So they might have been removed since then.
I assume staff
Yeah.
pointed that out. Yeah.
Right. It's like it counts as signage if their name's on it. So
And were the multiple signs still on the window for the opening and closing? Looks like there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4,
It would seem
5.
to me that would be an easy solution to all those little ones go,
Yeah.
and then you just have the one open sign that's either lit up or not, maybe, or, I don't know.
Just have one with the hours and then the open sign.
Yeah. It seems solvable, I just don't know if it's up to us to solve it, or they just propose and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. I don't know, it's a good store, I like it. been in there, so.
And then,
So just have staff work with the applicant to reduce the signage until they meet the square footage requirements.
yeah, and that
That's
could,
what I think.
yeah, and that can be well within your motion, just to say, you know, planning commission makes the
Yeah, I think that-
recommendation to approve the signage with the condition that the applicant works with staff to ensure that they meet the 10%.
So-
And that should be sufficient enough for us to, then we can work with the applicant to say, which ones do you want within this 10% that we
Okay,
can work
so
with?
I'll make that motion then, what you just said, which is we're authorizing staff to work with the applicant
Okay.
to come within the regulations as far as the square foot and which signs should stay or go.
Now,
Okay.
do we want to include in that motion dealing with the awning, or should that be a separate motion?
That's not their.
That's
that's why I'm
the
asking the-
applicant. They don't have control over it,
Yeah.
probably.
That's why I'm asking the question, should we have a,
Probably
or
have
is
it-
that something staff can do?
That's something we can handle, where it's in our ordinance where signs that shouldn't be there
Okay.
aren't there, so that's something that we just want to bring it to your
Okay,
attention.
as long as you can handle
yeah.
that, that's fine, I just want to make sure.
Second.
Any additional discussion?
Does it go without saying the points that we made with the multiple opening and closing signs and the yard sign?
Mhm.
Those would certainly go.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shall I do roll?
Yep.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Excuse me, Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Next order of business is a public hearing, zoning map amendment, rezone split zone parcel from low-density residential district R1 and high-density residential R3 to high-density residential district R3, located at TBD Cummings Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parcel, parentheses, parcels 126-1-12A, in parentheses, staff report.
All right, I'm gonna give Amber a little break here since she's been getting up everything, so I'm up now. So, the request, Derek Lester, applicant, and Bescom C. and Ann M. Ray, owner, have requested approval of a zoning map amendment to rezone tax map number 126-1-12A from low-density residential district R1 and high-density residential district R3 to high-density residential district R3 solely. Located at to be determined Cummings Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24211. The request to rezone requires a zoning map amendment, therefore requiring a recommendation of approval from the Planning Commission and approval from the Town Council prior to completion. The subject property contains approximately 2.750 acres and is legally described as T.R. Henry D. Sullivan's land acreage 2.75, tax map number 126-1-12A. Generally, subject property is located on Cummings Street. There's no building there, so there's no address. Background, a zoning amendment application was submitted requesting a zoning map amendment for tax map number 126-1-12A. Currently, the undeveloped property consists of non-forested and forested areas. Tax map number 126-1-12A is split zoned. Low-density residential district R1 and high-density residential district R3. The applicant wishes to rezone to solely high-density residential district R3 to allow a uniform set of standards throughout. Access to the site will continue to be Cummings Street. Adjacent land uses / zoning. Adjoining properties to the northwest are zoned high-density residential district R3. Properties to the northeast, east, and south are zoned low-density residential district R1. And adjoining properties to the west are zoned General Business District B2. Staff findings. Currently, the undeveloped property consists of non-forested and forested areas. The parcel is split zone, low-density residential district, and high-density residential district. The applicant requests to rezone the parcel to solely high-density residential district. The zoning map amendment, or ZMA, findings are the following. Consider the proper relationship of such amendment to the entire zoning plan. A rezone of the parcel from low-density and high-density residential to solely high-density residential would eliminate any existing split zone parcel within the town of, would eliminate this split zone parcel within the town of Abingdon and extend the already existing high-density residential district further south towards the town limit running along Cummings Street. Consider the integrity and validity of the zoning districts described in this chapter. The parcel will be subject to the required high-density residential district R3 minimum lot area, minimum frontage, minimum yard setbacks, open space requirements, and all other applicable requirements set forth by Chapter 44, Land Use, Article 8, Community Design Standards for any future development. Tax map number 126-1-12A has a square footage of approximately 119,790 square feet, meeting the requirement for square footage for all dwelling types allowed in the high-density residential district R3. Tax map number 126-1-12A has a frontage of approximately 368 feet, meeting the requirement for frontage for all dwelling types allowed in a high-density residential district R3. Avoid isolated, unplanned spot zoning changes in the zoning district map. Adjoining properties to the northwest are zoned high-density residential district R3. This request would not be considered spot zoning. Recognize that a certain element of stability is desirable in land use controls, but conditions and standards will change. If rezoned, tax map number 126-1-12A would no longer be split zoned, creating a stable parcel governed by one set of standards instead of two. If rezoned, tax map number 126-1-12A may become developed depending on the type of dwelling or dwellings proposed upon official submission of plans. However, a large portion of the property is steep and considered undevelopable. The existing forested area will remain a natural buffer for any future development of properties adjacent found to be less intensive in use. So let me go back here real quick. So pretty much from here up this way is like just a hill. It's pretty steep and everything. That's where all the natural forest is. And as you can see, forest comes pretty much to here too. Consider the right of all citizens to be treated reasonably. A public notice was made for public consumption. Adjoining property owners were notified of the applicant's request via certified mailer. A notice was posted on tax map number 126-1-12A a week before the meeting date, and all of the requirements pursuant to Virginia Code Section 15.2-2204 were adhered to. Evaluate all changes based on the comprehensive plan and comprehensive analysis of community conditions. The request aligns with the Abingdon comprehensive plan for more housing. I did receive one public comment from an individual, and I'll read it into the record. It says, "Dear Mr. Cochran, I am a contiguous landowner to tax map parcel 126-1-12A. I hereby submit the attached petition for the town's administrative review regarding the pending rezoning application notice for the Planning Commission meeting on November 24th, 2025. The petition outlines several procedural and legal concerns requiring attention by the town. I respectfully request that the town review the matters presented in the petition and advise regarding the status of the upcoming Planning Commission hearing." Petition to the Town of Abingdon, Virginia. 1. Introduction. My name is Judy Hohenacre. I am a landowner directly affected by any rezoning of parcel 126-1-12A. I submit this petition challenging the Town of Abingdon's acceptance and processing of a rezoning application filed by Derek Lester, who is not the owner, contract purchaser, or authorized agent of the owners of the parcel. 2. Factual background. Washington County Real Estate Records identify the legal owners of tax map parcel 126-1-12A as Ray Biscombe C. and Ann M. with a mailing address of 2000 Plum Woods Circle, Salisbury, Indiana, 47172-9092. See attached land card. This parcel is currently zoned R2 according to the land card. The Town of Abingdon's notice of public hearing identifies applicant Derek Lester. Derek Lester is not the recorded owner of the parcel, is not a contract purchaser, and is not an authorized agent of the owners. Applicable law, Town of Abingdon zoning ordinance, and any amendment to this ordinance or the zoning map may be initiated by the owner, contract purchaser with the owner's written request, or the owner's agent, therefore, of the property which is subject of the proposed zoning map amendment or rezoning. Virginia Code, Section 15.2-22686, parenthesis, 7 parenthesis. The governing body may amend the regulations or district boundaries from time to time, but only upon 1. Petition of the owner, 2. Recommendation of the local planning commission, or 3. Motion of the governing body. 4. Argument, the town's zoning ordinance and Virginia law require that a rezoning application to the planning commission can be initiated only by the owner, a contract purchaser with the owner's written consent, or the owner's authorized agent because the application for parcel 126-1-12A was submitted by Derek Lester. An individual has done of these. The application is void. Ab Indidu. The Washington County government website identifies the applicant, Derek Lester, as the Washington County Stormwater and ESC Administrator. Mr. Lester's county government position underscores the irregularity of initiating a rezoning application for private property he either owns nor represents. Nothing in town ordinance or Virginia law authorizes a county employee acting in any capacity to initiate a rezoning application for private property in the town belonging to landowners with whom he has no agency. 5, misrepresentation of existing zoning and improper applicant status. The public notice falsely states the parcel lies in a mixed R1/R3 zoning district. The attached land card confirms the entire parcel is zoned solely R2, single-family suburb. The notice is therefore factually defective. The defective notice deprives the public of due process. 6, relief requested. I respectfully request that the town of Abingdon, 1, reject the rezoning application filed by Derek Lester, 2, cancel the November 24, 2025 public hearing, and confirm future applications comply with Virginia law and ordinance section 3-2-2, parenthesis A, close parenthesis, parenthesis 1, close parentheses, parentheses C, close parentheses. Respectfully submitted, Judy Hohenacre, and we received this on November 14th, 2025. I'll let the applicant state what their relationship is with this whole thing, but to touch on some of the mentions here, let me just find it here real quick. And the applicant will go over the first point here, what their relationship is, but again, the recommendation would come from Planning Commission if you see this is right, and then it go to Town Council.
The letter indicates that it's all R2, but
Yes, and that's another point I was getting to. So the land card reflects R2, which is Washington County zoning.
okay,
Town of Abingdon has its own zoning. We do not comply with Washington County zoning.
okay. So
Yeah,
that's,
That's the first thing that jumped out at me. I was like, well, this is in the town, so we go by town zoning.
Yeah.
Not what's on
Okay,
the
so
county
that-
land card.
So, and the notice and everything said it's split zoned R1 and R3, which it
Okay.
is, and they're just looking to bring it into R3 solely to have a set form of standards.
okay.
The applicant is here to,
Okay,
provide you information on the other points that I mentioned, and make a presentation. So.
Derek Lester, 152 Main Street. So me and Rob, we've got this property under contract. We're just doing our due diligence work right now with it. Got a closing in December, but getting it rezoned to R3, just a couple things with municipalities having congruent zoning is a good thing. Split zones not an ideal use, and also we could probably do what we want to do with it the way that it is, but for a better layout, we want to have the townhomes up against the hillside. So that, just going off measuring on GIS, no, it's not surveyed, but that's like roughly 70 feet right there, like 0.7 acres total. We could flip the houses and put them on this side, and then they would just face the hillside. But we don't think that would be aesthetically. We think it would be a better project. It would be better for the community if we set the houses against the hillside and faced out. Couple other things. No, I'm the applicant, not the owner, but the owners did sign the application. I mean, they're aware. Obviously, we have the property under contract, and I am no longer employed at Washington County as of, I think, like March. So, yeah. Any questions?
So this would still, he's a contracted purchaser.
Yeah.
Well,
Just to
one thing
clarify.
I want to make sure everybody's clear on is that as we discuss the zoning, we're discussing the zoning only. We're not talking about any kind of plan for the property. And I want to make sure that all we're doing because once there's a plan, that goes through a totally different regulatory requirement.
That goes,
And that's not what we're here for tonight. All we're here for is to determine whether or not to approve getting everything in R3 as opposed to having a split zone as it is now.
that's correct. So,
Any questions for the applicant?
One question I have, in staff report, you said that the majority of the property, and I know from a topographic standpoint, Mr. Lester, that it can't be developed or it's gonna be very expensive to develop.
Right.
But there's no prohibition on developing that.
Right.
That could be a borrow area, that could be, depending on what the demand was or anything of that nature, I'm assuming you could at some point. But where did staff's comment originate that the rest of the property would not be developed?
I said it's undevelopable in the sense of that it is a big hill. It would cost a lot of money to take all that. Plus, you'd have to go through stormwater management and everything, because then you'd be disturbing a lot more land. So that's where we came up with that, where it's, in all honesty, it's pretty much undevelopable because you'd have to take out that whole hill. But again, anything's possible with money, but it kind of comes down to if they want to do it.
Yeah, you literally could develop it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's not conventionally attractive
Exactly.
to development.
And we also stated that we don't have intentions, part of the site plan, because of the different zoning, we'd have to provide a buffer anyway, so if we did do something, we would have to come back and provide a landscaping buffer, so it's best to just leave what's there.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, the next thing we need to do is to open the public hearing to comment, so I'm going to open the public hearing now. And Ms. Honaker, if you want to make a comment.
My name is Judy Honaker. I live at 404 Fairway Drive, Abingdon, Virginia. I've lived over there over 35 years. And in that time, there has been numerous offerings to have that property sold. I just want to be on record, as you can see from the pictures or whatever, that land is underwater 90% of the time. And there's underground water that flows from the mountain, the entire length of my property, 3 acres of my property, and dumps on that land. The land is filled full of swamp water, cattails, and I'm very concerned because I've had property developed on the other side of this property. I've had numerous violations against my own property. I've had a fence line taken down. I've had trees cut down. I've had a fire set in the middle of the day, and I have sent videos. With all the due respect, you guys, I really respect what you do, but I want to make a point of showing my opposition to the lack of confidence I have in a town of protecting the property rights of those of us that are there. And if Mr. Lester has a contract, and I will abide by that. I will abide by the zoning. I'm a taxpayer. I'm also a Washington County employee and have been for 35 years. I just want to make it publicly known that that is a swampland, and I have already been violated on the right side of my property numerous times. I've had my internet cut in 2-3 times. I've had a fence taken out without my permission. This piece of property that he is trying to get rezoned had a complete line of trees with cherry trees and locust trees, and the owner on the right side of that property cut those trees down and moved them off without anybody's permission, as he did my own fence. I really appreciate what you all try to do, but I would like for some protection of the homeowner's property that borders this.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Honaker? I think the key is that what we would do to rezone this to R3 would not be giving any approval to a plan without the plan being submitted, reviewed, and approved by the town. and potentially to be approved by the planning commission, depending on how the subdivision was constituted. Is that correct?
So yeah, so if they submitted an application for a development, it would go through the proper checks, so stormwater management. Since it would be townhouse, it would be, go through the condominium act, so that's what we would be looking at to make sure the designs and everything meets. If they do ask for something that's an exception to where it kicks to go to the planning commission, that's when it would come to you all for that exception for what they would ask for. But other than that, it would have to meet state and town ordinance requirements for all that.
Just, may I add one other thing, Mr. Schuman?
Sure.
It's a matter of public record that the property on that has been under development on the right side is really what's causing me to be upset. The environmental quality has issued 3 cease-to-work orders because the water that's running across underground, the underground springs, is running into the creek. And they have made, I don't know how many trips out there, and it seems to be a problem. And I just want to make sure before this gentleman tries to develop this, that everybody knows that that is swampy, and it is continually fed by mountain springs.
Any questions from Ms. Honaker? We appreciate your comments. Anybody else to speak at the public hearing? If not, I'm going to close the public hearing. Get to bang the gavel, that's... all right. Now, I have a quick, is the property she's talking about on right, is that in town or in the county?
Which one?
Where she was talking about the
She's
development?
talking about the property that's under development right now.
It's in
All
the
of
town.
townhouses.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's in the
okay.
town.
That's in town.
I wasn't sure about
Yeah.
that.
Gabe, one question I do have relative to the R3 zoning is access to public water and sewer. I know there's a provision saying they would connect, and I understand the purview is just the zoning, but with R3, it's public sewer and public water.
Yep, and there is
So
public.
where is the proximity?
If you give me 1 sec, hold on. Give me 1 sec here and I'll pull it up.
Using my Anna's computer?
No, she was just saved in there for some reason. I don't know why that happened, but there we go. Sometimes you log on and whoever was on here last logged into the application's on there, so let's see. So there's the line right there. So they'd be connecting to the same thing pretty much. So it'd be public sewer, and then
Okay.
I'll get you the water here. Give me 1 sec.
I wasn't aware that it actually extended out to Jimbo's.
Where's Public Works? And there's the water line. So it would have to be public infrastructure and everything.
Correct.
And if they do have any streets in that one, which this is a tight fed, so it'd either be a driveway into a parking lot, or if it's a street, it'd have to be a public street, since the ordinance requires all streets to be public. That's something we changed maybe a year ago, where nobody can have a private street anymore going into a development. So,
Thank you.
yep.
What do we want to do?
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Aye. All right. Next order of business is old business matters not on the agenda. Mr. Bell, are you back there? Because you would like to address us?
You want me to justify my existence? No, I'm just here to hear your words of wisdom. That's all.
I just thought since you were there, you might have some words of wisdom.
I made it all go smoothly by me sitting here, I guess.
All right. Anything else additional to come before the commission?
No, I don't have anything to add.
If not, is there a motion we adjourn?
So moved.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.